By late February, Pacific Northwest forests are locked in gray. The bare trees and cold ground leave the landscape completely dormant. But the calendar is already forcing movement. Migrating rufous hummingbirds are pushing their way up the coast, and massive queen bumblebees are waking up from hibernation. These creatures are burning through massive amounts of energy just to stay warm. The problem is, they're waking up to an empty pantry. Almost none of the standard local flowers have bloomed yet. This creates a brutal biological bottleneck known as the nectar gap. For an early season pollinator, finding rapid calories right now is a daily race against starvation. That is exactly when the red flowering currant blooms. Scientifically known as ribes sanguineum, this deciduous shrub grows anywhere from 3 to 10 feet tall. It pushes out heavy, drooping clusters of bright pink, deep red, or occasionally white flowers. The true value of this plant is its timing. By blooming weeks before the rest of the forest, it serves as the opening act of the season, kick-starting the local food web when wildlife needs it the most. For those rufous hummingbirds traveling thousands of miles up the coast, these highly visible flower clusters act as essential refueling stations right along their migration route. They are joined by local, non-migrating residents. Year-round Anna's hummingbirds, wild native bees, and the earliest butterflies of the season all crowd onto these identical blooms. The nectar hidden inside delivers an immediate payload of dense, easily digestible sugar. That rapid calorie intake is required to survive the freezing, unpredictable nights of early spring. Take this specific shrub out of the equation, and the migration and emergence patterns of the region's early pollinators would face a severe caloric deficit. By early summer, the bright flowers fade, but the shrub's work continues. Its leafy, multi-stemmed structure takes on a completely different job. It becomes a critical host plant. Adult insects require very specific foliage to lay their eggs, ensuring their young have safe, edible leaves to consume once they hatch. The lobed, maple-like leaves of the red flowering currant serve as a direct food source for the caterpillars of well over 20 different butterfly and moth species. This specific foliage supports the larvae of the zephyr butterfly, along with the giant, spectacular Ceanothus silk moth. The shrub functions as a biological nursery, physically building the next generation of native insects. As late summer turns to fall, those pollinated early spring flowers mature into small, dark, blue-black berries. These fruits offer a crucial late-season burst of energy. Songbirds, squirrels, and chipmunks strip the branches clean as they load up on calories to prepare for the coming winter. Even when the leaves drop and the berries are completely gone, the plant's dense, tangled, multi-stemmed architecture steps up for one final shift. That thick physical footprint provides real three-dimensional shelter. It offers vital hiding spots from predators and secure nesting cover for small animals weathering out the cold. Over 12 months, a single shrub seamlessly cycles from a life-saving spring nectar source to a summer insect nursery, a fall pantry, and finally, a secure winter fortress. Ecologists have a term for plants that handle this much heavy lifting: living infrastructure. It operates as a central biological hub that actively supports multiple trophic levels in the food web. This complex web of life is mirrored here in a 3-tier cake design featuring sugar-molded currant flowers, chocolate bees, and a rice paper butterfly. These artistic elements, the foraging birds, the hosting butterflies, the early season blooms, map directly to the shrub's real-world biological complexities. The red flowering currant serves as a high-density city block, providing critical services to every level of the local food web. You don't have to venture deep into the wild forest to see it at work. This plant adapts perfectly to human landscapes and residential gardens. It is highly resilient. Once established, it tolerates extreme drought and grows happily in everything from full baking sun to damp partial shade. For a cohesive native garden, you can pair it directly with complementary Pacific Northwest species like Oregon grape, wild rose, or salal. Planting a red flowering currant installs the foundational infrastructure required to support a thriving year-round ecosystem.